or emotionally unavailable. They seem downright emotionally detached. They were showing the typical signs of someone who doesn't care about you. Sometimes you don't have to just feel it. They'll run away from you so you can see it isn't going to go anywhere. But was that because you did something wrong? No, in fact, you did everything right. They simply weren't ready. Someone may like you, but the minute they start thinking about what the future with you will look like, they emotionally detach themselves. It's not necessarily because of you. It's usually because they're simply not ready for a relationship, or they're scared of being hurt. You need to be able to tell when the person you're dating is emotionally distant, regardless of their motivations. You can feel free to go on because this function will indicate the telltale symptoms that someone doesn't care about you. The telltale indicators that someone is emotionally distant from you and doesn't give a damn. It is tiring to spend time with someone who is emotionally distant. However, you don't have to give everything of yourself to someone who offers you nothing at all. Recognize the warning signals so you may leave the situation before you become enamored with the person. Although it hurts, it's preferable to holding things out. Here are several indicators that someone doesn't think highly of you. They're not giving in. They simply act in their own self-interest. They don't care if you don't join them. You shouldn't hold your breath for them to comply with your wishes if you think they will do so at some point. Anything that causes them trouble is already excessive. This is a clear indication that they are immature emotionally, and you don't have to put up with it. They require treatment if their parents did not instill that in them. Their mother is not you. You start hitting them. It makes perfect sense that you're frustrated that they're not providing you with the emotional support you need. You find yourself insulting them behind their backs or slapping them with this fury. That would never occur in a relationship that was healthy. It is normal, of course, for your spouse to irritate you from time to time, but don't go so far as to offend them only to get a response. They see shortcomings in you. Everybody is flawed. However, they comb through yours. Why? Thus, they are unwilling to engage in an emotional relationship with you. It will be simpler for them to explain why they could never be with you if you are imperfect. They find better you are imperfect. That's what they believe, at least. They have too much curiosity. Asking intrusive inquiries on money and sex is a sign that someone is not emotionally open. They merely search for someone who fits their criteria, and they don't care who that person is, because they are afraid of being duped or fooled, not because they like you. They never dispute with you. You have to genuinely care about someone in order to dispute with them. But if you can't manage to make them feel anything, it's probably because they don't give a damn. People are emotional when they debate. It's over, though, if you can't even get this individual to talk to you about what's troubling you. If they do, you are solely to blame. Promise you that it will be all your responsibility if you manage to argue with them. When it comes right down to it, you will always be at blame, regardless of what you argued over. Even in cases where they are the ones at fault, they will remain innocent. They lack consideration. If you miss your bus and need a ride to work, they don't question if you're hungry. Even though they might not appear significant, these things exist. They demonstrate how much they care about you. However, it's an indication that someone doesn't care about you if they're not making the extra effort to help you. They tempted you to enter into the partnership. How did this partnership start? People who are emotionally disconnected tend to be excellent seducers. Why? Since they don't give a damn. It doesn't always follow that they have an emotional connection to you if your relationship develops swiftly. Recall that the goal of seduction is to swiftly subjugate and acquire control over another person. They don't specify who the two of you are. Do you two have a romantic relationship? Merely engaging in sexual activity. Who are the two of you? You are no longer required to wear a label, but surely it's better to know if they're sleeping with other people or not. They won't be able to emotionally engage in you if they won't commit or if they won't tell you who you two are. That's an obvious indication that someone doesn't value you. No affection exists. Emotionally distant people frequently quit showing affection all of a sudden. They don't give you a hug or a kiss. That is a result of their blatant lack of concern for you. Though that seems harsh, it's the truth. They keep their actions under wraps. Perhaps they used to be honest with you about their intentions. However, if they now refuse to tell you what they plan to do this weekend or turn over their phone as they exit a room, be cautious if the person you are dating used to leave their phone open, but suddenly they have 8 different passwords protecting it. If you were the only person in the photo, there would be nothing for them to conceal. No discussion of the future. When you bring up the future, there's a long pause that's followed by a lot of stammering or the TV coming on. Nor does this only refer to the distant future. It's a warning sign that they may not even know whether they'll be with you by next weekend if they can't even commit to that. That should give you a very good indication that they aren't making an emotional investment in you. The initial 3 to 5 months of a romantic relationship. I hate to break the news to you, but studies indicate that most relationships fail within the first 3 to 5 months. At this point, most individuals make up their minds about what they want and whether or not to invest in the relationship. Thus, there's a greater likelihood that these symptoms will occasionally manifest if this is something new. It's not like they truly know you. Despite your best efforts to introduce yourself, people remain unaware of your identity. They have no idea what your favorite movie, music, or even cuisine is. If they give it to you as a present, it's something you never would have requested if you had the option. They frequently postpone plans. They ignore you completely every time. In a depressing way, not a seductive one. They disappoint you by canceling whenever you make arrangements to get together. If they bother to offer you an explanation, it will be clumsy and weak. Someone who consistently cancels arrangements shows you little regard and no concern. Their social life does not include you. They have no desire to introduce you to their plans, and the reason for it is that they don't genuinely care about you. When someone excludes you from their social circle, it's an indication that they don't value you. To avoid having to defend their actions to their friends when they eventually decide to ghost you, they are attempting to prevent you from becoming very active in their social circle. They are never there when things go tough. You will occasionally experience difficult times. Everyone does, and relying only on your spouse to lift your spirits is unhealthy, but loving and supporting one another is the main goal of a partnership. They don't truly want to be in a relationship if they never support you throughout trying times. You never seem to glimpse their happiness. They genuinely don't care when you succeed. Even if you have a grand party for everything they achieve, they won't bother to appear pleased for you. They are emotionally distant if they never experience anything when they witness you joyful. That's a telling indication that someone doesn't value you. They treat you with little respect when you speak with them. When you're speaking with them, do they frequently glance at their phone? Is their conversation limited to a simple, "Yeah, I guess"? Someone doesn't care about you if they don't treat you with respect when they speak with you. Someone who genuinely is interested in what you have to say is someone you deserve. Significant dates are not significant to them. Your birthday is something they consistently forget, as well as your anniversary, or even the day of your scheduled meeting. To put it succinctly, they don't care to recall significant dates. The significance of these dates is irrelevant. The crux of the matter is that you value them, and your spouse isn't showing enough emotional investment to show concern. They don't inquire about your viewpoint. They would value your opinions if they truly respected and cared about you. They don't give a damn about you, though. Rather, they don't value your viewpoint highly enough to inquire about it. If your significant other never asks you for input, it's because they are so emotionally aloof that they don't give a damn about your opinions. They don't care about you or your life. Do you see a trend yet? You won't attract the attention of someone who doesn't care about you. You may forget about them caring about your ideas, your thoughts, or your life in general. Something must matter to you for you to be interested in it. If they don't give a damn about you, well, you get the idea. They never experience jealousy. They don't mind if you go near to other guys or women. The majority of people become envious when their significant other receives attention from the other sex. They want no one else to snatch their sweetheart away. But your lover never gets jealous because they don't care if they lose you. They mistreat you. The biggest indication that someone doesn't think highly of you is this. They don't care if they mistreat you emotionally, verbally, or mentally. Additionally, you should avoid being around them for as long as possible. Thus, don't put up with any mistreatment from your spouse. Not poorly treated, but cherished and appreciated is what you deserve. They could care less about your pleasure. This is the height of disdain. To someone who doesn't give a damn about you, your happiness means nothing. They still have no empathy for you since they are self-centered and emotionally numb. This implies that they don't feel anything while you're joyful. Thus, they will never try to put a grin on your face. They're never available and constantly busy. This strategy is comparable to canceling plans. It always seems like your spouse is busy and unavailable when you want to hang together. They lead lives that are more than merely thrilling. They don't genuinely care about you, so they're making up reasons not to spend time with you.